Hello, my name is Neo, and I'm here to share some things about what makes me, me. On the surface, you would likely think I am a person sans uniqueness or personality, and before you get to know me, that would be mostly correct. I don't enjoy partying, and I don't take part in any sports. However, there are a few things about me that tend to be a little more intriguing. Firstly, due to my father's dream of traveling the world, I was fortunate enough to be able to see and experience many global cultures, going to countries like Egypt, Italy, Japan, the US, and China. And I think that it has shaped my philosophy and personal thoughts significantly, especially the idea that all human life is important and matters significantly, and likely contributed a lot to the person I am today. Secondly, I both value science and education, especially chemistry and the communication of it to the layperson. When people hear about chemicals in foods, they often think about horrendous and horrid scenarios where their faces melt off and get cancer 50 years earlier than they should. While on occasion there are chemicals that are dangerous, typically the idea of danger stems from fear-mongering sources demonizing something as simple as dihydrogen monoxide, saying that it can corrode metals and cause asphyxiation and cause significant burns when in its gaseous form, when in reality they're talking about water. I believe that the average person fears the concept of chemistry, and something I believe will benefit humanity as a whole is to take away the stigma that comes with the subject. Thirdly, I enjoy translating manga. To me, it's an opportunity to practice skills such as characterization and graphic design, and more importantly, share media with people that aren't well equipped to be able to read in several languages. Fourthly, I care deeply about a lot of global, socio, and geopolitical issues. While many people neglect issues that happen on the larger scale because they think they can't do anything to change larger society as a whole, I think it's vehemently important to stay educated on topics because it is the basis of a civilian-led society. Something like that only functions when we accept the basic logic that a grain of sand is minuscule, but billions of grains make a beach. Although one person being educated might not be enough to change society for the better, if we all share the idea that we should stay educated, we can achieve good change, almost acting like a less radical form of political flank. Fifthly, ever since I was a kid, I took a very non-consumeristic approach to life. I never enjoyed buying toys or shopping for clothes, and quite often my father would be more inclined to purchase toys than I ever would be. I would take an almost utilitarian approach to the leisure items I would purchase, as I would refuse to buy anything that I deemed to give too little utils. Lastly, and possibly most demonstratably, is my English level. Although I've studied large portions of my life in public schools, I have a fairly decent English level. While studying in Canada, I learned that I spoke English on an equal or better level than some native speakers. When I was in the 6th grade, I got a TOEIC Golden Certificate, and more recently, I got an 8.0 band on the IELTS test. To me, English is important as it functions as a universal language. Almost all information can be gathered from English sources, and it serves as a vital tool in global communication. I'm someone who values the communication of the unknown to people who wish to know more. This version of me was likely shaped by all the cultures and countries my father introduced to me as a kid. For me, education is something vehemently important, not only in science, but also in politics, and especially current issues. And as such, having a good English is one of the most important tools.